Thread the machine. As always, begin by placing the power in the off position. The location of the thread cone for each needle number is as shown. Threading the thread stand guides is done in 3 ways according to the cone location. The first row has 1 hole, the second row has 2 holes, and the third row has 3 holes to go through. Pull the thread through the appropriate number of upper thread guides, including the guide on the first tension disc. And place the thread around the first tension disc itself. You have been provided with a tool for pulling the thread through the spiral tubes. Run the tool up through the spiral tubes and to the left of the appropriate tension disc. Wrap the thread around the tool and pull it back through the tube. Continue through the first thread presser on the tension base and around the inside of the thread path pin. Run the thread between the discs of the second tension unit, making sure the thread goes to the left of the guide pin at the bottom. Continue on through the next thread guide, then to the left and under the pin for the rotary tension disc. Then up and around the rotary tension disc itself, and once again to the left of the guide pin below it. Finally, place it through the second thread presser. Proper threading here is very important, so we will show it once again, starting with the first thread presser on the tension base. Once again, go around the inside of the thread path guide, run the thread between the discs of the second tension unit, making sure the thread goes to the left of the guide pin at the bottom. Continue on through the next thread guide, then to the left and under the pin for the rotary tension disc, then up and around the rotary tension disc itself, and once again to the left of the guide pin below it. Finally, place it through the second thread presser. Next, move the retracting lever up to the horizontal position and thread the take-up spring from right to left. Tweezers may be helpful here to pick up the thread. Continue to thread the take-up lever once again from right to left. Pull the thread down through the 2 remaining thread guide holes. Finally, place the thread behind the needle guide and through the needle hole itself, and down through the presser foot. The excess thread should be placed in the thread holding spring. Remember to return the retracting lever to the vertical position. Install the bobbin thread. Before inserting or removing the bobbin, machine power should be off. With power in the off position, remove the bobbin case and check the bobbin thread. Hold the bobbin case with its open face towards you. Then insert the bobbin with the thread unraveling from the wheel in a clockwise direction. Pull the thread clockwise and slide it through the slit of the case. Then guide the thread under the thread tension spring and wind it twice around the pigtail. Install the case on the shuttle with the lever to the right. The bobbin case will click into place. A common factor in proper thread tension is the combination of upper thread and bobbin adjustment. Proper tension adjustment usually starts with the bobbin. Remove the bobbin thread from around the pigtail and allow the bobbin case to be suspended from the tension spring. Then give a firm snap of the wrist similar to using a yo-yo. A length of thread will be pulled from the bobbin. Ideally, a good firm snap of the wrist will produce 4 to 6 inches or 10 to 15 centimeters of bobbin thread. If the drop test results in a longer length, it is a good idea to tighten the bobbin slightly. The big screw on the tension spring tightens the bobbin tension by a slight clockwise, maybe a quarter turn to the right. If the drop test results in less than 4 to 6 inches, the bobbin may need to be loosened. To loosen, turn the tension screw a quarter turn to the left. Once the drop test gives you a 4 to 6 inch or 10 to 15 centimeters, re-wrap the thread twice around the pigtail and trim it to roughly a 2-inch length. Then replace the bobbin case securely in the machine. Listen for the click to know it is locked in place. Once the bobbin tension has been adjusted, you will rarely need to readjust it. You may wish to perform the drop test when you replace the bobbin. Next, check the upper thread tension. A good test for checking proper balance between upper thread and bobbin thread is by using block letters. Notice the bobbin thread behind the garment is approximately equal to the amount of upper thread. Should you notice the thread laying very loosely on the garment, or that little bobbin thread shows through the back of the garment, these are signs that the upper thread tension may be too loose. You may try turning the second tension knob to the right to tighten the upper thread tension. Specks of bobbin thread in your design, or too much bobbin behind it, indicate that the upper tension is too tight. Turn the tension knob to the left to loosen the upper thread tension.